Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington, where tonight Tacoma Defiance plays host to Sacramento Republic FC for midweek USL Championship action. Hello, everybody. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined as always in the booth by Dave Clark. Dave, Defiance coming back home on a 3-match skid, and they are really looking to get back in the win column tonight as they are fighting to stay in that 4th place spot in the Pacific Division.
Yeah, they're going to count on the home form that's been strong throughout the year to give them that boost here in what is essentially the run-in to the playoffs against a team that's doing their best to catch Tacoma Defiance.
Sacramento looking to make some changes, looking to climb up those division standings, and in doing so, they have brought in a man on loan from MLS side Minnesota United FC, Dave.
Yeah, Patrick Weah did an extraordinary job, unfortunately not scoring, but he had 3 shots for Sacramento in their loss to San Antonio. He is an aggressive attacking player. He'll be out on the right wing tonight.
For Tacoma Defiance, they're looking to a man who is actually being technically slotted in at wing back, but we'll get to that in a moment. It's Ray Serrano, who was a nominee for Goal of the Week this past week.
Yeah, Ray Serrano has come on hot lately. Normally the assist man. He'll play anything on that right side for Wade Weber this year. Today, a wing back. Saturday, might be a forward.
3 goals for Serrano this season, a team high 6 assists. He can score them himself. He can help his teammates create. Well, for Defiance, it has been Fortress Cheney for pretty much all this season, barring 1 loss to division leaders Phoenix Rising FC, otherwise unbeaten at home. 6 wins, that 1 loss to Phoenix, 3 draws. And you know that head coach Wade Weber is really counting on his side to knuckle down and take all 3 at home. They can't afford a draw anymore, Dave.
They definitely can't afford it. Wade Weber has been emphatic that he needs wins, particularly in those teams that are in that 2 to 6 range. Sacramento, one of them. Sacramento, on the other hand, is 3-6, minus 1 goal differential on the road. They've struggled there this year. One of the preseason favorites, now just in 6th place, 4 points behind Tacoma.
Well, it is anthem time here at Cheney Stadium. We pause for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. When we come back, our injury report and a look at the starting 11s for both teams ahead of Tacoma Defiance against Sacramento Republic FC here on ESPN+. Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here on ESPN+. Moments away from kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and Sacramento Republic FC here on the midweek for you. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark. And Dave, time now for our multi-care pre-match health report for Defiance. It's good news.
Yeah, Wade Weber has 18 players on roster and 18 players available today. Perfect news for him. On the other hand, Sacramento Republic is without Malik Foster, who is suspended. 4 players injured: Tucker Bone, Sargis, Gomez, and Panano.
Panagos also unavailable there, although Mario Panagos in the starting 11. Speaking of that starting 11, Mark Briggs has named his side in a 4-5-1. It'll be Rafa Diaz in goal. He's been manning the pipes since he took over for Tomas Gomez in that match where he got injured. The back 4, Duke Lacroix, Nabi Kibanguchi, Dan Casey, and Jordan McCrary. A midfield of Luis Felipe, Emil Cuello, Jaime Villarreal, Patrick Weah, who we mentioned, and Mario Panagos. And, of course, the man up top, Jerome Kiesewetter, who scored the goal in this match months ago that finished as a 1-1. For Defiance, Christian Herrera's in goal. Wade Weber's listed a 3-4-3. The back 3, Jackson Reagan, Tom Brewitt, and Taylor Mueller. The midfield of Alex Villanueva, Carlos Anguiano, Obed Vargas, and Ray Serrano. Up top, Marlon Vargas, no relation, Sam Adinarin, and Danny Robles.
Yeah, we get our first challenge with both Vargases starting the match together for once. Again, Alex Villanueva and Ray Serrano are going to be those wingbacks. Expect them to enter the attack frequently. Expect Obed Vargas to get further forward than Carlos Anguiano, although Anguiano does have 3 goals on the season.
We are underway here at Cheney Stadium after the whistle from referee Mark Latin. Assistant referees Matt Schwartz and Seth Martin. Adaraman Roy, the 4th official. Well, Dave, for Tacoma Defiance, we mentioned that 3-match skid. They were on quite a run for a while, 8 unbeaten. And there's a quick shot, Herrera up to the task, collecting it off the bounce.
Yeah, had a hot little streak for Tacoma, and then kind of faded a little bit. They're looking again. Cheney Stadium has to be their fortress if they're going to make a playoff run, if they're going to hope to host a playoff game.
Serrano over the top. Here's Adinarin. Leads the team with 6 goals. Kibanguchi step for step with him and well tackled away by the former UC Davis man. Here is Patrick Weah. Wins the free kick there, and it's an immediate yellow card shown to Ray Serrano. 2 minutes in, and Serrano's booked.
And I thought Weah went down a little easy on that one. I was surprised it was a foul, let alone a yellow myself.
Now a set piece opportunity. Luis Felipe over the ball. He'll play it short. Well, Mark Latin must have really seen something in that challenge he wasn't happy with to call out a caution at this stage in the match.
Not really surprised that Sacramento went to play it short in those scenarios. Defiance have 3 giants on the back line today.
Yeah, Reagan, Brewitt, Mueller. It's an imposing back 3 for any team to try to go over the top of. And it's the kind of centerpiece for a Defiance side that's been much stouter defensively this year than in years past. Kiesewetter. Marlon Vargas. Lacroix has it away. Anguiano wanted to go into space. Down line and over hit for Weah. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select's the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Felipe winning that ball. Certainly get the sense that this Sacramento team recognizes the ability of Patrick Weah, former Minnesota State Player of the Year. Came back home to sign a homegrown contract with Minnesota United after a little bit of time in college at Billikens. Making his second start now for the club after starting and making his debut in that loss to San Antonio.
With only one change for Sacramento, you'd think that they're familiar with each other, but the insertion of Kiesewetter recently and then Patrick Weah might mean that that attack is a little discoordinated at this point in the season.
Free kick going Defiance's way. Oh, you mentioned the return of Kiesewetter. You know, think about this first few years in the league, particularly that debut season with El Paso. You would expect more goals from him, but this, just his third time back on the pitch since the first fixture against Defiance earlier this season, where he was injured and subbed out early into the second half of that match after scoring a goal.
Defiance sitting back further than Sacramento during these transition moments.
Pressure here for Jackson Reagan. Obed Vargas gets it off to Mueller. Serrano tried to work it in there to Marlon Vargas. Adinarin. Never afraid to try the inventive pass is Sam Adinarin.
It's what makes him special. He's started off the season with strength and speed, but now you just see that he attempts things that a reasonable man wouldn't consider.
Well, it has paid off. 6 goals, 2 assists. He took a bit of time to find a scoring rhythm, but did kind of get into a bit of a groove there. He's since sort of slumped out of it and now hoping to get back in. Being a striker can be streaky that way, Dave.
He's using some body contact there, Republic, to slow Sam Adinarin down, so he wasn't able to get on that headed ball.
I know, he's 6'4", 200 pounds. Body contact's probably one of the only reliable ways you can try to slow him down. And if the earlier jersey tug was a yellow card, I suppose you'd be right to consider that maybe that would warrant one as well, but not the case. Duke Lacroix just gets the talking to from Marco Latin. Back for Rafa Diaz. Keeps that short. Jordan McCrary, former Sounders man. McCrary, a player who was really well liked in his time here in the Puget Sound. Very reasonable guy, Jordan McCrary. And has since gone out to carve a spot for himself where he can play regular minutes with this Sacramento side.
One of several around the Pacific Division that we've called going both ways here at Cheney from 2018 to the present.
It's a lovely cut inside by Anguiano. Robles has his head up. Villanueva cuts inside. Fancies a shot from that angle. We've seen him crack that before, and he can threaten from right there. Taken over by Obed Vargas. Tackled away by McCrary. Tacoma's throw. And now this floating cross got over Diaz. Nobody home for it at the back post.
This is our first match in about a year seeing Danny Robles as an attacking midfielder.
It's a role that suits him well for this Tacoma side. He's got such great field vision, Dave. He really is able to see into the channels and where guys are making runs. And Tacoma has certainly benefited from that in the past, but he's also such a defensive spark plug. It's not atypical that Wade Weber can't afford to spare him up top. This falls well for Weah. Kiesewetter to his right. Weah takes another touch, fires. That one blocked. The follow-up effort ricochets around and goes out for a corner. For a split second, it looked like that one had corkscrewed just inside the left post, Dave.
Yeah, tough angle for us that I expected to hear you at full volume at that point. That seemed to be a deflection in on target for a few moments. You see here, excellent work by Brewitt to close down the angle, and that deflected ball barely wide.
Now a corner from the far side. Free header looped away by Adinarin. McCrary gives chase and is content to let it run out of play. Here's Luis Felipe, searching that in. Herrera spills it. A partial clearance and helped on its way by Villanueva. It's an awkward ball for a goalkeeper, Dave, one that just dies right in front of you.
Yeah, I think he expected a lot more energy on that and wanted it to come to him.
Thumped up to Adinarin. Well, 12 minutes gone, Dave, and so far you have to say the second balls seem to all be falling the way of the visitors.
Yeah, Sacramento's got a little bit of pep, a little bit of aggressiveness. They're eager to right the wrong, as they would see it, of Tacoma being a solid side this year.
Yeah, Sacramento coming into tonight's match, 6 wins, 9 losses, 8 draws, 26 points, and it's good for 6th in the Pacific Division. But Dave, there's only a handful of points separating 3rd from 7th right now. These last couple playoff spots very much up for grabs.
Yeah, San Diego Loyal snapped ahead a little bit over the weekend, capturing a 7-point lead on Tacoma.
Where the ball finds Weah in the middle. Slips that through. Kiesewetter cuts it back and tackled away.
So Loyal will have a little bit of breathing space, but who knows how long that'll last. The division has been topsy-turvy outside of Phoenix Rising this season.
Lacroix, down line for Weah. Lovely back heel chop. Weah. Low ball in and knocked away by Taylor Mueller. Casey ranges forward. McCrary. Cross is blocked. Well, Defiance just hemmed in their own end here, Dave.
Without those 3 center backs there, if it was a 2 center back line, they probably have given up a goal by now. And Defiance are just struggling to connect. They're getting the ball to Adinarin, but there's no one there for the second ball, and he doesn't have support when he does hold up play. We need to see Danny Robles and Marlon Vargas getting more active running off of Adeniran.
Lacroix taking it himself, tried to slip it through. Now Anguiano. Lacroix trips up Anguiano. It's a free kick. Two clubs battling over the Atlantic Division's final playoff spot take center stage when the USL on ESPN continues. Charlotte Independence travels north to Dillon Stadium to take on Hartford Athletic Thursday, September 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes.
I'd like to thank Jackson Reagan for that big clearance, letting you finish up that read.
Line out. Well done, line out. Yes, come on. You need to get that back. Hey, come on, time.
Another blasted ball brought down by Villanueva. Cynical jersey tug there. Advantage played by the referee. Villanueva pass another sliding challenge. Adeniran. Serrano screaming for it. Gets it. Serrano on his left foot. Off target. Now surely, Dave, that jersey tug warrants a yellow card.
But only a conversation, nothing shown. Villanueva had beaten him on the dribble, ran through, had numbers because of that dribble, and it was only the jersey tug that pulled that back. So I'm kind of stumped.
I'll ask you this, Dave. Villanueva goes to ground there. Does he get McCrary booked?
Probably.
Nature of the game, I suppose.
But at the same point, I think Wade Weber will be happy that he stood up and dribbled on. They had the advantage, and with some faster choices by Sam Adeniran, I think you might have seen a more effective shot.
Well, Patrick Way is just proving himself to be a handful, more than a handful, to be honest with you, in the early minutes here at Cheney Stadium. There he is, still rampaging. Big man was born in Liberia. Family moved to Minnesota when he was very young. Father played top flight football back in his home country. Kiesewetter hoping to link up there with Emil Cuello.
I bet Vargas with a little telegraph on his pass that prevented that from being effective.
Sacramento seem really adept at getting themselves into those passing lanes so far in this match, Dave. Are they reading the match well, or have they just done their homework?
I think it's got to be reading the match well, mainly because Wade Weber has rotated players so frequently that I don't think those are the same lanes every match to match.
7 changes to his last starting 11, despite keeping the same formation. Robles. Villanueva just rockets that out of play, winning the corner.
All three big bodies come forward. Taylor Mueller having a small conversation with Tom Brewitt as they set up for this play.
Anguiano from the near side. Headed over and not by much. Jackson Reagan, the big center back, getting involved there.
He had the height to nod that down and the power to just go through the blocking body. You see here on this replay, I think he beats like 3 guys for height, for power, and just had the shot is off target only. Everything else about that execution's perfect.
Reagan has 1 goal to his name this season. Came on a play similar to that one. Kiesewetter. Cuello. Looped inside here. Lacroix. His ball's blocked.
In the corner right there. Dude, keep going. In the corner.
Marlon Vargas using his entire body to block that one.
It finds Weah inside the area, cuts it back, and just slicing it wide's Luis Felipe. Well wide, in fact. Wide enough to be out into touch. Diaz forced to play that with his first touch. Robles going straight through for a dinner in.
Too much on it.
Crazy to think with the Dinneran's pace, Dave, that with a little bit less on that ball, he would have played him through, and he would have done it by putting him through 4 defenders.
It's one of those passes that coaches love to see. You'd rather see them try that than not. There are bad incomplete passes, and then there are incomplete passes that you're okay with seeing.
I think it's kind of emblematic of the modern game has become so possession-centric and retain, you know, make the smart move, but sometimes you just got to pin your ears back and throw something at someone, see what sticks. Robles with a lovely turn. And turned over by Luis Felipe checking back.
Every coach will love that, the player that gives the ball up and immediately wins it back, as Danny Robles did there. Wherever he started or come off the bench, Danny Robles has never failed for lack of effort.
Yeah, there's never been a question about that kid's motor. And here is Robles, Obed Vargas, Villanueva now. It's a low cross coming in, too long for a dinner in, and popped out of play by Lacroix. What a nice little double move by Villanueva there to get space for that low cross.
This one's even and pacey so far. You see a wonderful move here. Villanueva head checks it. It's a good cross, and I think Dinneran's feet are just mismatched for that pass.
And give credit to Nabi Kibanguchi there, the center back, because if he doesn't get a foot to that, that might check up just enough for a Dinneran to get there. Anguiano set for this outswinger from the far side. Reagan is lurking, and the whistle has already gone for a free kick against Tacoma inside the area.
A foul on someone for something.
Who it was exactly, we'll never know. Well, hoodie season is back. Get the latest zip zip-ups and pullovers for fall at the Tacoma Team Store Monday through Friday from noon to 5 p.m. and also online at Tacoma.com/team store. Or visit the Cheney Stadium Team Store on match days. Lacroix out wide here. Weah looped to the back post, headed toward goal. Herrera gets there and parries it away with a big paw. More close calls for Tacoma in their own end, Dave.
Herrera fortunate on that parry as well, because there was a back post runner who nearly got contact with the ball that he'd sent away.
What a through ball. Robles gone through Serrano. Serrano has a go. Diaz tips it wide. Villanueva fighting with McCrary for the ball.
Dinneran's pass deserved more than just a shot on that. It's brilliant, brilliant ball.
Just a level of creativity that this team plays with. Sure, it can get him into trouble sometimes on turnovers like this one. But you've got a stout back line like Jackson Reagan there, trying to break things up. Thrown into Kiesewetter, headed straight back out of play.
Sam trying to advance the ball about 20 yards when it's in touch.
Villanueva tripped up there. Hard running so far for the young fullback this evening. Reagan past midfield. Robles has dropped in. Villanueva. It's an early cross. Diaz read it all the way.
That one kind of hovered there for a bit.
Yeah, really hung up in the air. Not as though the wind took it. Pretty much still out there this evening. Kiesewetter inside. Penagos trying to go back in for his forward up top. Defiance wants to play on the break. Serrano. Anguiano. And Felipe thumps it away. Kiesewetter, the return to Weah. And that came back off Weah. Gone out for a goal kick. A new era of Division II professional women's soccer begins in 2023 with the introduction of the USL Super League. Head over to uslsoccer.com/USL Super League to learn more. Obviously, that was kind of the big story this week coming out of the USL, Dave. And how exciting is it that in addition to the W League set to begin play next year, there will be an expansion of professional women's soccer in the United States. Robles wins a free kick there. He stayed down. Kind of got hit after he was on the ground.
Yeah, I think one of the boots caught him in the chest or stomach as two bodies had tumbled after the foul. We'll see here. He has the space. That's the foul.
Got to be the third or fourth time tonight.
And just he lands on top of the trailing foot. Torso just pounded his whole body. And Danny Robles may be short, but he's broad and muscular, so that's a lot of weight behind his fall.
He's back on his feet now, lined up over this set piece. So is Anguiano. Anguiano drives it in, flick on header, and that one wide by a matter of inches. Taylor Mueller nearly put the home side on top. What a beautiful flick on that set piece.
Yeah, they're dialed in tonight. They're picking out each center back. This time it's Carlos Anguiano with the service, and Mueller goes 2 feet wide to the right after Reagan was 2 feet wide to the left.
32nd minute now, and Dave, for a Defiance side that was really struggling to get out of their defensive third those first 10 minutes or so, they've certainly opened this match up over the last 20.
Yeah, I think we're seeing even play from both sides. Both have gotten great opportunities. Weah and Kiesewetter are both threatening for Sacramento Republic. Defiance have done it a little bit better on the set pieces and then trying to spring a dinner in.
Straight ahead, Marlon Vargas. Anguiano wants Villanueva. They like that switch to him. Robles. Rattles around, goal kick. Now, Tacoma sets sail on a high seas happy hour every weekend home match. 90 minutes before every weekend match, Cheney Stadium opens for the high seas happy hour presented by Lunazul Tequila. The next high seas happy hour is this Saturday, September 25th, a rematch against Phoenix Rising. Visit tacdefiance.com/ticket information to learn more. Dave, Defiance will be champing at the bit to get a chance to avenge their lone home loss of the season this weekend. But first, got to make sure they take all three here at home this evening.
Defiance are fortunate with the no call and then the call going their way, and I think Sacramento is quite valid in questioning that series of events.
Yeah, Emil Cuello, the infringed upon and then guilty party that time. And Cuello, I think he's insisting on having the last word here. That's seldom a good idea when it's the referee you're speaking with.
Lacroix came over to calm things down a little bit, I would assume, the captain today.
Anguiano, another free kick. Lacroix breaks up the long ball intended for Serrano.
Love how Serrano chased that ball down so quickly. not the type to let a fast break go to waste just because the ball's out of touch.
Laser ball looking for Villarreal. Defiance want to stay on the front foot here. Serrano manages to lay that off to Robles. Robles lets fly. That rattled off a defender. I think that was Jaime Villarreal that had to pay the iron price, putting himself in front of that shot. Now big counter ball, Cuello. That's lovely control, although a heavy touch on the settle. And it's rolled out of play.
And Sacramento's going to have to consider that they might now be in danger of one of those persistent infringement calls that's just because you're fouling too much.
Turned over there in a bad spot. Defiance quickly win it back. They'll need to carry it free. Through ball, Adinarin, Diaz. And that is alert goalkeeping there.
They're at 7 on the night. Defiance with only 2 fouls recorded.
Very vertical ball. Kibbenguchi is there. Here's Villarreal. Weah. And with their 3rd foul of the night, Defiance earns their 2nd yellow card. This one given to Jackson Reagan here in the 37th minute.
And we'll all understand that one. Beaten for pace and coming from behind, your tackle has to be perfect, and that was not.
Vargas. Kibbenguchi jumped the route as it was going to Adinarin. Defiance back on the ball. Robles, Vargas, Adinarin. Flag stayed down there. It's gone all the way through, and it is a corner.
The public will feel hard done by that one. They were playing for the offside call, and when you play for the offside call, if you're wrong, you've let a man through.
Very close there. We had a pretty linear look at it. For me, I honestly couldn't tell whether he was on or off. In any event, it is a corner now from the near side. Defiance have been close on a couple set pieces. Deeper ball. Awkward there. Obed Vargas kind of went up and flailed at it. Couldn't connect.
Been a fun little match. Both sides have 6 shots so far, and they're creating them in such different manners.
Another free kick here. This one out in the alleyway.
Reagan a little confused as to that call.
And Mark Latin wants to talk to Christian Herrera, the keeper. I'm not sure what for. Herrera must have said something that Latin wasn't happy about.
A small wall for Defiance. Danny Robles and one other. Anguiano.
Really dangerous set piece here. The right player could try to drop this at the near post. It's a low ball. Sacramento settle it for a second attempt, but boy, they'll wish they'll have made more of that opportunity, Dave.
Yeah, it was
follow-up effort, pardon me. Felipe trying to turn. Chip through, Weah onside. Scoops that pass, it's headed up right in front of the goal, comes off the crossbar. Still not free for Defiance. And now it settles back across midfield. Dave, I apologize for the interruption.
No, we got to see something you don't see very often.
Weah offside there. Herrera stops the shot in any event.
Ball off the crossbar that stays in play like that is a rare sight.
Just trying to work out the physics of it in my head. I mean, if you're able to scoop it from not off the line, since the cross was coming back from the goal line, but you pop it straight up, and then it travels that direction, had to have come straight down on the bar. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that one play out that way.
There's always something different here at Cheney Stadium. We've seen lots of first times this year.
Weah, cross running inside. Kiesewetter went to ground, his shot's blocked. Obed Vargas passed a couple of fouls. Villanueva checks up his run. They want the big switch for Serrano. They're saying he's offside.
I don't think Sacramento expected that call because Lacroix wasn't playing as if that was supposed to be offside. He thought he just misplayed that.
Seconds.
42nd minute as Diaz has us back underway.
Great use of space.
McCrary, an early cross, popped up by Reagan. Swing and a miss from Obed Vargas. Second clearance, also blocked. Only out as far as Villarreal. Penegos, McCrary, spinning in. Robles going right away for a dinner in. A foot race with Kibiniguchi. The center back wins. Anguiano, nice layoff. Villanueva, Kibiniguchi gets it back out.
Some frantic few minutes there for Sacramento, trying to clear that ball and just unsuccessful. Defiance won't even get a shot out of those opportunities though.
Cuello gone ahead. Weah. Every step he takes has just been real harassment for this Tacoma Defiance back line. Mark Briggs there exhorting his side on to bigger and better things as we tick toward halftime here at Cheney Stadium.
Wade Weber
looking to keep his back line organized. They've been up to the task so far. Long throw from McCrary. And a free kick inside the area. And now the first caution of the game belongs to Patrick Weah. Playing in a dangerous manner, sticking that boot up in the air.
Come on, boys. Come on. That's what we worked on, boys. Come on.
All right, Serrano didn't want the trainer. but is now up and might still be forced to come off here to receive some attention if the referee suspects a head injury.
That was a rapid indication from the center referee that the trainer needed to come out.
Well, Serrano didn't technically receive attention. I'm very curious to see if Mark Alatin is going to force him off the pitch here. Doesn't appear to be the case. So we're still 11 on 11 as we tick into stoppage time here in the first half, of which will play 1 minute. Mueller turned right over to Lacroix. The fullback presses forward. Adeniran making the run down the field. He's going to be rewarded with the ball. Cracked it on the left foot. Flipped over the top. Serrano is there. He squares it. Diaz parries it away. Adeniran! It's wide right. The big man has his face in his hands. He thought for sure he'd put his side up 1-0 at the end of the first half.
Just excellent work here for Ray Serrano to beat the defender down the line. Good strong ball inserted, and Sam Adeniran just tries to pick up the loose ball. That's the last action of the half.
Not even a goal kick to put it back in play. Both sides have chances come just that close, Dave. But we are scoreless through 45 minutes here at Cheney Stadium between these two sides.
It's been an exciting 0-0. This is not static, it's not staid, it's fun soccer. Both teams aggressive towards goal. Love it.
0-0 through 45 minutes of play at Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma. We'll take a break between Tacoma Defiance and Sacramento Republic FC here on ESPN+.
Our fight against coronavirus isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Today, as you step onto the field, as you defend and attack, as you move swift, quick, like you were made for this, know that you do not do so alone. With each step, you run with all of the women before you and all of the women that will come after you. A stampede of mujeres blazing a trail on fire. Time cannot catch you. Para ti no existen los límites. You come from women that transformed pain into victory. Women that accepted impossible as a challenge. A challenge is brought to you and you do not turn away. Your journey today awaits you and you do not step down. You step into your purpose. You step strong. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Right-footed shot, and it's in! Knocked away. Looking for Para, could fall for an opportunity here. The shot comes in! Oh, it's brilliant!
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, Washington, here on ESPN+. It is 0-0 at the half between Tacoma Defiance and Sacramento Republic FC. I'm Andrew Harvey, alongside Dave Clark. Dave, very entertaining first 45 minutes here at home.
Yeah, plenty of action going both ways. I think both coaches will think that they have enough there to win this game. So it'll be interesting to see what they do coming out at half.
Well, it's time now to take a look at what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship. Up first, there are some scores tonight. And Dave, we're getting to crunch time in the season. Some very important scorelines to keep an eye on tonight.
Yeah, San Diego Loyal is taking on Oakland Roots. Colin Martin leveled that one in the 45th +1 at halftime. El Paso Locomotive will go final at any moment with their come-from-behind 2-1 victory. Memphis edges Indy 1-0, and Charlotte Independence beats the Miami FC 2-0 over an Eastern Conference action.
And as you see right there on your screen right now, those are matches that we're expecting to be seeing this upcoming weekend. Obviously, Tacoma at home against division leaders Phoenix Rising. Very enticing match. But Sacramento back at home on Sunday to play Los Dos, and Oakland Roots playing Orange County. I mean, this Pacific Division looking to be ready to start eating itself, Dave.
And that's what division play does, unless you're the Mountain Division, in which case they eat everybody else. Those standing, the Mountain on the road and at home in the outside of division play has been impressive.
Speaking of your standings, here's how things were entering the day in the Pacific Division. Now, there's been some movement around because of the way current results are slotted up, but obviously Defiance right now scheduled to go up on 31 points. It would keep them in fourth place no matter what happens around the rest of the league, but they want to take all three here tonight.
Yeah, there's that saying, games in hand only matter if you win them. So that's what Tacoma has to do. They have games in hand on basically everybody.
Let's see now some of the other major headlines from around the USL in general, and obviously we tipped it off in that first half the biggest one this week, the USL Super League, coming to you in 2023. I'm really excited, Dave.
Yeah, we've both worked in professional women's soccer in the past, and it's awesome to see more opportunities for these incredible athletes to get paid and play soccer all around this country. The USL Super League is going to be impressive to continue the growth of that side of the game.
And absolutely, and the USL, well aware from its current footprint that there are a ton of markets that can support professional clubs at every level. Ray Serrano, of course, also a headline worth noting, had a goal last week that's a contender for goal of the week.
Yeah, it's a contender for goal of the week. It was a brilliant shot from about a three-degree angle that he put into the roof of the net. I have to let you know, Tacoma Defiance fans, about every third week a Tacoma Defiance player's up for goal of the week. There's some incredible action out there to watch.
Well, we talked at the top of our broadcast about Patrick Weah getting loaned to the second division from Major League Soccer's Minnesota United FC. Now there's a loan going the other direction as Colorado Springs Switchbacks Mishi Ngalina is headed to LAFC for the remainder of the season out on loan.
He's been basically their second best player, 8 goals, 8 assists behind Haji Berry out there. Colorado Springs Switchbacks are the turnaround story of the Mountain Division and maybe the West unless Tacoma Defiance goes on another run.
It's all about home sweet home for Colorado Springs and that beautiful new stadium of theirs. Well, that's what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship. Meanwhile, here at Cheney Stadium, it is 0-0 through 45 minutes of play between Tacoma Defiance and Sacramento Republic FC. We'll take another break here on ESPN Plus when we return the second half of this contest.
Our fight against coronavirus isn't over. We still have to slow the spread and do our part. Let's wear face masks in public. Stay 6 feet or more from others. Follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently and stay home when we feel safe. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for our future. Let's move forward together. Learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Sigue la lucha. Aún no acaba esta batalla. A estas alturas ya estamos cansados, pidiendo esquina. Pero no es momento de bajar la guardia, porque este enemigo, cuando parece que ya está en la lona, se levanta de nuevo y te ataca por donde menos lo esperas. Así que arriba la guardia, porque si pierdes la máscara, todos perdemos la lucha.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. If you could see you through my eyes instead of your ego. I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here in Seattle, Washington. Pardon me, Tacoma, Washington. Set for the start of the second half as Tacoma Defiance are playing host to Sacramento Republic FC here on ESPN+. Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark for you on the second half. And Dave, obviously Defiance sniffed a couple of times, got close, but for the most part, this game is coming down to who's winning the ball and who's having to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's basically the story here. Sacramento Republic are clearly leading the tackles numbers, almost 75% of those going their way. And Defiance are leading the clearances. There are 75% of them going their way. Both defenses have been very stout. We've seen attacks that should have scored in normal games, but tonight, the back lines of both teams, as well as Christian Herrera, have been quite solid.
It's been an entertaining first 45 minutes of soccer. We'll see what the second 45 has in store. Defiance over the opening kickoff, awaiting the whistle from referee Mark Latin. Get us underway here in the second half. 3 players in the referee's book: Ray Serrano and Jackson Reagan for Tacoma, Patrick Weah for visiting Sacramento.
My quick initial look says no changes for either side.
One of the things we noted when we were handed the team sheets for tonight, Dave, Wade Weber has brought a very defensive-minded group of reserves to this match to potentially come in and replace these starters.
The options in the attack are Alec Diaz and Juan Alvarez. Everyone else would boost the defensive posture of the squad.
Free kick early for Defiance here. Ray Serrano, who was chopped down toward the end of the first half, chopped down here right at the start of the second. We should mention, Dave, one of those scorelines we read out at halftime became irrelevant seconds later. Here's the foul.
Here's the foul, and it's not that first bit of contact. Yeah, there's a clear foot right on top of Ray Serrano that prevents his spin move from succeeding. Yeah, Austin Bold didn't like my calling that match for El Paso and instead decided to tie it up.
Floating header grabbed by Diaz at the upper left 90. Not sure whether that was technically on frame or not, but Diaz didn't want to find out.
Yeah, when in doubt, punch that away.
Serrano screaming for it. Up toward Marlon Vargas. High press out of the gate here for Defiance. They get that ball back. Robles dishes. And it's battered away from Serrano.
Hungiano deciding, let's just give everybody a little bit more space now. Trying to reset the play.
Can understand it. Been a physical game, but it really hasn't been one that was contested too much in tight quarters in that first half. This is really about who's been able to exploit the space.
I think you heard Wade Weber saying up, up, up. He wants his team there to press. Force turnovers like that, although that would have been an unforced error.
Sam, in the space, in the space.
Robles, a dinner in cracks for goal. Diaz tips it wide. That one falls through. tipped away from Kiesewetter by Anguiano. Tom Brewitt ventured forward. He had the green light to do so there. It's back with Villanueva. Low ball, spinning. Marlon Vargas got it past his man. Who'd that last go off of? Luis Felipe was certain that it was a Sacramento player.
Sacramento under an immense amount of pressure here between the press and two center backs surging forward on different rallies.
Now looking for the outlet. Gone through for Weah. He is onside. Tackled away, inch perfect, just outside the penalty area. And I think Weah knew it too. He glanced back at the referee, but didn't make much of an effort at appealing for a foul there. But that is the flip side of the coin for this high press. Defiance are out to start the second half, Dave. There is space in behind.
That's the kind of tackle that a veteran with, what, like 230 games under his belt can get away with. More than 10,000 minutes.
Gone through here, a dinner and offside in any event. Well, the USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping players transition to their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com.
Got at least one USL Academy veteran or graduate on the Sacramento Republic bench today, their backup goalkeeper.
Yeah, Carlos Saldana. Off screen at the other end of the pitch, referee trotted over and had a word with Patrick Weah there. Still chatting. Just finished that thought about Saldana. Recently signed to a pro deal. And this Sacramento Republic Academy, one that's really made the most out of being down there in that valley since 2014. Some great success in bringing players through their pipeline.
Public bringing bodies up. We're going to try to return that pressure that was causing them trouble earlier.
Villanueva was cleaned out there after he got that ball away. Emil Cuello, the guilty party. Free kick to Tacoma.
Taylor Miller asking why that's merely a foul.
Mill, right? Mill, just slide right a bit. There you go.
Reagan, home run ball, Kibanguchi, and a dinner and do battle. That's held in play by Robles.
No foul, no foul.
And a good job by Jordan McCrary to interpose himself on the ball, draw that foul.
Great shielding play from a fullback. That's unusual. Diaz has been slow on these restarts.
This is Diaz. He scoops that pass to Dinner and more high pressure. And it nearly paid off there. Adeniran knows only too well. Scored perhaps the most unconventional goal, certainly that we've ever seen here at Cheney Stadium. A few weeks ago, Dave, when he blocked a goalie's clearance and it went straight back into the net.
And I think Diaz knew that that's a possibility and pulled that ball back quickly when he realized who was on him.
It's my humble suggestion for the league that sure, goal of the week is great, but we also need bizarre goal of the month. Just bring together the weirdest balls that wind up in the net. Let the fans vote. That's the first ballot choice right there. Villanueva turned back here. Won a free kick. Can't say there was very much in that from Jordan McCrary.
No, I think Alex tripped over his own feet. Was fortunate just that the Sacramento bodies screened out his own air.
Duck of a pass right there from Reagan. Falls to Marlon Vargas in any event.
Sometimes earning that second ball is just as good as a successful pass. Other times it forces you to retreat all the way back to your own keeper.
We've seen this out of Defiance for a number of years now, Dave. They have a real commitment to trying to play out of the back. It's the system they want. They want to have every player on the pitch adept enough with the ball at their feet that they can make that work. But it kind of finally feels like with Adeniran up top, they also have that option to change it up and punch you in the mouth real quick with the ball over the top.
Yeah, his combination of hold-up play and speed that can break through lines has been missing on this team for so long. And I think sometimes those underneath midfielders, in this case tonight, Danny Robles and Marlon Vargas, just aren't used to making the runs off of the big man.
Speaking of home run balls, Jackson Reagan catches that one at the warning track. Villarreal, Adeniran on his back, and a free kick given.
Ray Serrano's going to wind up giving the training staff a little extra laundry duty tonight.
Weah collects this in the corner. Lacroix. Felipe over the top, over Kiesewetter, and over Villarreal. Pardon me, Villanueva. Get my players confused. Adeniran rounds Cuello, rounds Felipe, gets back on his feet. That's going to come back on advantage, you have to think. No, it won't. It will just be a yellow card for Emil Cuello. So in the referee's mind, an advantage did play out with that errant pass spilled to the outside, but Cuello booked here in the 58th.
And it was the first time that Adeniran was brought down, and then he went down again later and got back up before the errant pass. And I think if he just stayed down, that ball stays in Defiance's possession. You see there, he beats Cuello, and it's the second one he could have gone down, or maybe the third.
Speaking of, the ball has been tucked out of play here by Christian Herrera. There is a Sacramento player who went down at midfield while contesting a ball in the air and has stayed down. And now the referee sort of forced to host an informal get-together in center circle. It is Jerome Kiesewetter who is trying to work his way back to his feet. And forgive me, I misidentified the player who was cautioned in that last sequence. I said it was Cuello. It was, in fact, Luis Felipe. Pardon the error.
The referees have a little conversation between themselves to figure out what had happened in that moment. Play advanced so fast that the center referee was focused on where the ball was rather than the previous incident.
Well, it should be Sacramento's throw-in here inside the attacking third. You expect they'll do the sporting thing and throw it back to Herrera, the goalkeeper. And they do so. Kiesewetter comes off under his own power and waits to rejoin play. And he's waved on now to do so.
General practice is you don't want your own center backs facing your own goal with the ball.
Turnover here in a risky position. The cross, and that one finds the head of Kiesewetter inside, stays in play. Lacroix apparently onside as he plays that from the goal line. And Republic thump another shot off Obed Vargas this time. Link up there with Weah. Turned over now to Obed Vargas. We've passed the hour mark. Marlon Vargas. Stood straight up by McCrary. Great tackle. McCrary carries onward. Kiesewetter. And a free kick given about 5 yards outside the area.
And this is that tricky space where it can go right in on goal or you can swing something around for an assist.
Of course, Defiance now have to play the game. Do you put your tall men in the wall to cut down that angle at the post? Or do you leave them free to mark some of these big bodies Sacramento has? You saw there Carlton Belmar receiving his instructions, getting set to come in. Cuello and Villarreal over this set piece. Whistle blows for some wall shenanigans. Important to remember, the new laws of the game state that players have to remain at least a yard away from a wall of 3 or more defenders. It's Cuello. He goes left. It's tipped wide by Herrera. What a stop from the keeper.
He'd set the big wall himself perfectly for that. Just the fingertips.
The 64th minute, Carlton Belmar going to come on here. First sub of the match for either side. And immediately set to receive this set piece. That floats toward Belmar. Another tip save from Herrera. Defiance keeper allowing himself a small smile there. 2 save of the week contenders in a matter of seconds.
And if it was the first half that gave Defiance some set piece opportunities, the seconds for Sacramento.
Another set piece from Cuello. That one headed away. Settle at the edge of the 18. Scooped inside, and that one whistles wide from Villarreal. So Belmar on here. Had been shown a red card in the late minutes of that match against San Antonio, but the red card was rescinded. We'll see now Cody Baker and Juan Alvarez checking in for Tacoma Defiance. And a yellow card shown to Marlon Vargas as he's making his way off the pitch.
And that was because the new laws say that you should leave by the closest line, not the furthest.
Which is all well and good, Dave, but you've so seldom seen that enforced this year as McCrary has run off the ball.
I mean, the ref has control of how much time is added, so he could have just added the 10 seconds. Cody Baker's in at the right wing back. Ray Serrano now is one of the underneath midfielders.
Belmar is slotted into that right attacking slot for Sacramento.
Alvarez has had some good direct play. Needs to find ways to link up better with Sam Adiner and to convert that direct play into goals.
Free kick for Tacoma Defiance. Presumably for playing in a dangerous manner while trying to play the ball on the ground, although tough to tell what was going on in that pileup.
I mean, he grabbed the ball with both hands before the foul was called. I think he was fortunate to only get called for a foul.
It's a high risk, high reward scenario. Players that do that nowadays, just grabbing the ball. Theoretically, you can force the ref to call a free kick for you. And Adiner offside once more. But like you said, Dave, if you do it wrong, you are deliberately handling, and that's a cautionable offense in itself.
Everybody get us a little breather here. An offside costing both teams about 25 seconds of time in which to win this match.
Well, join USL in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month through October 15th. Visit uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage for exclusive content and stories that celebrate members of the Hispanic community that have shaped the USL. Crunching tackle there, free kick given. And a yellow card as well, given there to Dan Casey.
3 yellow cards for each team now.
Gotta love these Pacific Division rivalry games, Dave. Always something worth watching.
Particularly these two after playing, it seems like a dozen times just last year, with the compressed group play due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Here's Felipe. He sets one free and didn't catch it squarely. Boy, we've seen a couple of really close calls tonight, Dave, and a couple that were not so close.
That was a less close call, is that what you're saying?
Potentially so. 70th minute. Sacramento want another change. Kiesevetter's night is done. He will be replaced by Dariusz Formela, making his 20th appearance. 3 goals, 3 assists for the man from Poland. Going to try to come in and put a stamp on this game.
Patrick Weah slots into that center forward position.
Once again, I think McCrary maybe a little bit hard done by on that call. Anguiano went down, yes, but from our perspective, didn't seem to be too much of a foul. Obed Vargas is saying he didn't ask for the 10 steps, so he's allowed to play that quickly, and the referee says, I disagree. Lacroix, Belmar, scooped through, knocked ahead to Weah, flag up for offside. Assistant referee went on to lower the flag. Belmar running over to Mark Latin, the referee. Mark Briggs is incensed. Well, from my view, Dave, it certainly seemed that Weah was offside.
But he hadn't played with the ball nor interfered with play.
So here is Belmar scooping this in. That drops right to Weah, and he can't catch it squarely. And Weah really sold out for that. He appears to be in some discomfort. Trying to pick himself up now. Holding his right calf. Well, there was no contact. You hate to see this. Weah has been such a threat all night, and he really went for it. It looks like hopefully he's just cramping here. Be able to get some water and continue. Another look at this cross.
Yeah, he just didn't really make contact, and personally, I thought when he first went down, we were seeing the wind knocked out of him, and he just needed a moment to recover. Big, torso contacted flat on the dirt there. And I think that's what Defiance thought as well when they restarted quickly. But he did not get up in time and then started stretching it.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watson, Devin Kerr every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the SXM app.
There's a match this weekend, if you remember halftime. You'll be able to listen to some USL Championship action on the radio. Weah has re-entered play. And has gone down in the center circle with no contact.
Defiance on it here at the goal line, cut back. Adinarin squares, fires. Got a lot of his man after falling through the ball. Anguiano, the volleyed clearance from McCrary. Gonna trickle over to Villanueva, who holds it in play.
Weah is now back up.
Mueller, cut near side. That cross got through a lot of bodies on both teams. Anguiano. Mueller, Baker, Obed Vargas, slipping that through. Serrano, a lunging challenge from Kibinguchi, corner.
Sacramento does look ready to make a substitution here shortly.
Anguiano for the corner. Dinnerin. And poked away by Belmar. Mark Latin going to make his third and final sub since he's used all 3 substitution opportunities, as Cameron Iwasa going to come on for Patrick Weah here tonight. And boy, what a threat he was in that attacking band. Iwasa, of course, a scoring threat in his own right. 6 goals this season as he comes in now for his 23rd appearance for Sacramento.
Wouldn't feel like a Sacramento Republic match without a Cam Iwasa appearance.
Yeah, too right, Dave. Diaz off his line there. He'll collect this without further trouble.
Ray Serrano was hoping that Cody Baker would make that run in. It was a perfectly headed ball if Cody had been alert to the action.
Watch behind. Yeah. Full me. Go left, on me. Go. Yes, Dan. No foul, good. Okay.
Lacroix taking his space. Formela. Still Formela. Trying to slip that in for Cam Iwasa. Turnover there. Laid to the inside. Belmar retreats, but can't get there in time. Now a long ball toward Juan Alvarez. Kibinguchi screens him off. Anguiano. Ray Serrano. Serrano. Upended there. Back to his feet. That falls for Iwasa. Belmar. Belmar's low cross. That gets beyond everybody and tipped in. Dariusz Formela with a go-ahead goal in the 78th. Well, Dave, you have to say the move to sub out his entire attacking band has paid off for Mark Briggs in the late goings here at Cheney Stadium.
And you'll see this one here. Jackson Reagan laid off that ball that let Sacramento get in and unfortunately start that attack. If you get across and you're only 1 yard off the line, it's pretty easy to score.
Well, it's a 4th goal of the season now for Dariush Formela, and it could prove to be a critical one. Sacramento came into this match talking about how every game from here on out is going to be like a final for them. Big ball toward a dinner in, broken up by Kibanguchi, and held in play by Diaz.
"12 minutes here to change everything."
Obed Vargas draws the free kick there. Villarreal going to get his talking to about delaying the restart of play, although honestly that one was less cynical than some of the really late ones you see where guys are kicking the ball away. Defiance have threatened at a couple moments throughout this match. Dave, what's been the difference? Why have they failed to break through? A dinner in, spins here. Shot blocked for a corner. Tacoma's fifth.
They need to be more alert in their connections. There have been some second balls that have been able to send people in, and unfortunately they haven't gotten there. Their other opportunity is a dinner in being 1 yard off.
Anguiano's set piece. Diaz comes for it. Wins a free kick. Hoodie season is back. Get the latest zip-ups and pullovers for fall at the Tacoma Team Store Monday through Friday from noon to 5 p.m. and also online at the Tacoma.com/team store or visit the Cheney Stadium Team Store on match days.
Is that Casey that Diaz was reminding that we don't have any subs left, so you'll have to play?
Trying to link up with Iwasa there was Cuello.
There's some danger now for Tacoma because they're going to press so aggressively for that goal. That's more pressure on the back line.
Gonna have to be flawless these last few. Here's Lacroix in acres of space. Picks out his cross, and that one should have been 2-0. Dropped straight to the foot of an on-rushing Emil Cuello. And he's just put it over the bar, Dave. Issa Ryan coming on now for Ray Serrano.
You see here the acres of space that Lacroix has. Excellent cross. It's the one-timer, properly done, just mistargeted. This is our first time seeing Issa Ryan in an attacking midfield role, a place where he came up with Bethlehem Steel and Union 2.
1 assist on the season. And Defiance really up against the wall here in the 83rd minute. Need points here at home. Sacramento doing themselves a world of good with this current scoreline. Long looping cross there. Herrera catches it. Managed one late equalizer here at home against Sacramento earlier this season. Can they do it again? A dinner in, breaking free. Pressure on his side, cuts that in, and it's collected.
It's one of those situations where the forward just has to take the shot. There's nothing available for a pass. Too much pressure under him to be able to make a cutback. Shoot, hope for a deflection. Ryan forcing a deep turnover. Brewitt just can't control it when he wins that first ball. Also, Ryan with a much fuller beard than the last time we saw him.
Not sure if it'll affect his play at all, but at this point, I think Tacoma will take anything they could get. Villanueva. Anguiano. Slicing ball in. Broken up. Felipe keeps it on the ground. Obed Vargas chases this down. Gone down line. It's a heavy ball for Ryan. Gets the cross away. Wins a corner.
Gets your lungs involved early, forcing a man to run like that.
Anguiano's corner. Broken up. Coming straight toward Ryan. Obed Vargas turns it upfield. Past one jersey pull. Brought down by another. Nothing doing. Alec Diaz is waiting to check in. He will come on here for Obed Vargas in the 86th minute. Diaz, 2 goals in now 18 appearances for Tacoma this season. Could he be the one to spark a late equalizer?
There's going to be a lot of shifting. He gave tactical commands running past 4 different Defiance players.
This is Iwasa going at Jackson Reagan. Sacramento looking to put this match to bed. Another turnover from Brewitt. Belmar lets fly. Herrera got enough in front of it to stop it. Spilled the rebound. Well, you imagine the keeper won't have that held against him. Made a couple of big stops to keep this match at 0-0 before that goal from Dariusz Formela. And now Belmar down. Sacramento Republic without subs, so Belmar will press on.
Brewitt will want that pass back.
Yeah, fatigue affecting the mind as much as the body. Cuello for an in-swinger from the far side. Low ball. Villanueva volleys it clear, gets his legs taken from underneath him, and wins the free kick on advantage. Restarted quickly here to Cody Baker. A home run ball toward Adinarin.
Who tries to speed up the restart as much as he has control over. And Diaz will slow it down as much as he has control over.
Belmar pelts that upfield off Villanueva. Brewitt wins the header and the second ball.
Come on, come on.
89th minute. Defiance frantically looking for a way forward. Being hounded at every turn. Villanueva just grabbed by Carlton Belmar there. And not meriting a yellow card in the eyes of our referee. Didn't know you could do that and not get booked. Well, you learn something new every day. 90th minute, Anguiano over this set piece.
We will have
swinging that in. Diaz comes for it, bowled over in the process. And we're going to have some extracurriculars. Well, you have to think that a timely yellow card might have kept a lid on this, as it is boiling over here at Cheney Stadium.
We're going to have a lot of stoppage time between the Patrick Weah pausing for injury and this. Diaz is down, pounding the ground in pain earlier. And a yellow card was just shown to a Sacramento Republic player. And now to Tom Brewitt.
Appears to be Brewitt who is booked, but we'll wait for the official confirmation.
Well, Brewitt's confirmed it with that conversation. We'll need the official confirmation on the Republic player that was shown. There were 4 of them that it could have applied to.
Kevin Gucci, the caution player for Sacramento. You see there on the bottom of your screen, 4 minutes, what we're expected to play in added time. Defiance have not come very close to the goal in this second half. They'll need to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
They do not have the time to be passive.
Scored a couple of important late equalizers here at home this season. Adinarin. Juan Alvarez to the back post. Ryan, his run broken up, but there was too much on that ball.
And I know our clock says 2 minutes of stoppage have passed, but it doesn't feel like 2 minutes in my mind.
Time dilution is a very real thing in stoppage time, Dave. Defiance trying to claw their way to the ball. Villanueva. Stood up there, wins a throw-in. Thrown toward Adinarin. Interception McCrary. Anguiano gets to that ball. Ryan. Well won by Duke Lacroix. Maybe the most important tackle of the match. Now a foot race. Reagan hemmed in here. Brewitt, long ball, looking for Adinarin. They've been falling short of him this evening. Carlton Belmar wins the ball cleanly. And Belmar only has eyes for the corner flag. Defiance have it back. Final 30 seconds of the scheduled 4 minutes that were added on here. One last throw of the dice for Tacoma. Reagan lets fly. Villanueva gives chase. Turned back by McCrary. Scoops it to the back post. Diaz comes out and punches it away. Helped along by Formela. And Mark Alatin's seen enough. A late goal from Dariusz Formela, the hero off the bench, grabs 3 points on the road for Sacramento Republic. A massive 3 points in their push for a playoff spot, Dave.
Yeah, it's just excellent play from Sacramento Republic late to pounce on the Defiance Airs. A well-earned goal, and then they managed to shut down Tacoma's attack.
Now, Formela has his 4th goal of the season. For Tacoma, a second loss at home, a second straight loss at home, and a 4th straight loss overall. They'll head back to the drawing board, and it will have to be an impressive drawing board as they play host to Pacific Division leaders Phoenix Rising at 7 p.m. Pacific on Saturday. We will have that match for you here, but that's going to do it for us here from Cheney Stadium. For all of us here on ESPN+, including Dave Clark, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.